quit. I'm not even playing anymore. I don't like chess. I retire. I will stick to giving away money and just making YouTube videos. Chess is a lot harder than I thought it was, and yeah.
Mr. Beast sucks at chess. He's playing Hikaru Nakamura, world number 1 in bullet chess online, and he's up 21 points of material. That should be guaranteed win against almost anybody, except this is Mr. Beast. So we have Mr. Beast starting off with d4, and Hikaru plays a5. I'm going to show you 2 games. This is just the first one, and it goes pretty quick. We have a4 by Mr. Beast and king f8 by Hikaru, just saying to Mr. Beast, I want you to make a mistake, so if he moves, it's probably going to be a mistake, which this isn't a good move because he should just be developing his pieces really and like not pushing his pawns. So we have d5 by Hikaru, and Mr. Beast challenges him in the center. We have king g8, letting him take, and he'd probably recapture with the queen, and this would be a more active queen. But he also doesn't want to blunder anything because he only has 3 pawns right now, a rook and a queen versus all this material. So he's down 21 points of material, so he's not going to win on material. He's probably going to win on cheap tricks. Mr. Beast just defends the pawn that was already defended by the queen. He was saying, I need everything defended, but it was already defended. He's literally just blind. But we have rook h4 by Hikaru, hitting this pawn with 2 pieces now, and now it gets defended, and he counterattacks the rook here. So we have rook dropping back, and now g4, which is not the best move, although everything here is winning. I don't think he could possibly play a losing move. It hits the rook, but it also kind of weakens this side of the board and his rook, so I don't think that's the best move. We have rook dropping back and h3 now. This honestly doesn't look terrible. It's defended, but like everything here should be winning, so it doesn't really matter what he does. We have g6 and h4 now, and queen to e4, hitting this knight and hitting this pawn, which is not good for Mr. Beast because it's a fork, and he wanted everything defended, and that's just not possible to do here. The best move is bishop to b2, and literally defending it here and attacking this pawn, defending this pawn, defending the knight with the queen. So instead, he tries to trade off the queens because he saw his knight was undefended, which is good, at least he saw that. But he did drop this pawn, and now we have b4 by Mr. Beast, and he trades off the pawn, and then now is attacking it with the rook. And we have queen c8 by Hikaru, and Mr. Beast sees that his bishop's undefended, and then proceeds to not defend it, but drop his knight back and lose the game in 1 move. You can see the valuation bar all the way winning to all the way losing in 1 move when Hikaru plays checkmate. Alright, that's the first game. This is the second game. It's the same setup, you can see. But Mr. Beast is completely winning. 21 points up. And the second game at least goes a little bit better for Mr. Beast. It's the exact same starting. Now we have knight out, I believe. No, he played king f8 first here. And now he's playing d5. So it's a little bit different, but now he plays king f8, so it's pretty much the same thing. We have e4 by Mr. Beast, and he actually finally develops his pieces, which is an improvement from that move, but he already traded off a pawn and weakened his king, which is probably not the best idea. Hikaru plays king g8, saying, Mr. Beast, you suck, you literally can't do anything against me. So we have c3 by Mr. Beast, and he pins this knight immediately, which is not a good sign. He defends it with a pawn, but now PP on the PP, putting pressure on that pinned piece. Hikaru attacks it. Mr. Beast defends it, but if Hikaru really wanted to trade off a pawn for a knight, I don't even think he could do it. A pawn for that knight, a pawn for this bishop, a pawn for this knight, and he's still down a rook and a piece, right? Even if he trades off all of his pawns for pieces, his pawns are worth more than Mr. Beast's pieces, so he needs to find a trick. So he doesn't trade the piece for the pawn, and instead plays the check here, and forces Mr. Beast to block and move his pawns. So he's a little more weakened, and he just moves back to where he was. Mr. Beast now plays b4, attacking this pawn, but after Hikaru takes, he takes back. Hikaru doesn't take here immediately, which confused me, but he just wants to see what Mr. Beast will do. Maybe he'll blend or something. And we have G4 by Mr. Beast and Rook D8 by Hikaru. Now he's just making a couple threats, so everything's being attacked here, and maybe Mr. Beast makes a mistake. We have Queen E2 defending this knight once again. I don't think it does anything really. This pawn can still get taken for free, which is not what happens yet, but we take the pawn on B4 with check here, so that's pretty good. Now we have bishop blocks and queen takes the pawn, so that's probably why he didn't take with the rook, because it would just get targeted pretty much immediately. Now we have queen takes, pawn takes, and he dropped a rook. He just thought, oh, it's a free pawn, this can't be bad. He literally said, this can't be bad, and then he lost the rook. He's like, oh, it can be bad. He runs the king away. We have queen to d4 check, and bishop blocks. This looks completely fine, and Hikaru pre-moved this move. Mr. Beast was contemplating, he's like, bishop e3 can't be a bad move, right? And Hikaru was like, it is a move. And then Hikaru pre-moved queen here. I can't pre-move because I'm in an analysis board, but his queen was there, pre-moved. If and Mr. Beast was talking, he's like, if I put my queen on a2, or on, yeah, he said, if I put my queen on a2, I would have gotten it, but he literally couldn't have put his queen on a2. He would have needed to put his bishop back, which this was pre-moved, and I'm like, oh, if Mr. Beast plays this move right now, that'd be crazy. Oh, no, it's check. He's in check. What is he talking about? Oh, that's so funny. Hikaru said, I only play a pre-move if I know I'm not in danger, no matter what he can do, but he's in check, and this bishop back move doesn't even work. That's so funny. Yeah, so literally nothing that he could have done could have prepared him for the pre-move, but now we have f6 and takes, and this doesn't look too bad for Mr. Beast right now. It shouldn't be. He's up 14 points of material, so Hikaru gained 7 points of material during this game so far, and we have knight out, queen to h4 now. This doesn't look too good for Mr. Beast. We have king dropping back, and he didn't defend either knight. I don't know why he didn't put his king here, but now Hikaru takes with check. We have queen blocking, offering another queen trade, and he finally takes it because he gets this free piece over here, and Hikaru thinks it's not too bad that he's only up 2 pieces and 2 pawns, and it's only 8 points of material. 8 points of material, 2 pieces, 2 pawns. We have king g7 now, knight drops back, and rook to a3. Now h4 and g6, sorry, king g6, and now pawn forwards, and king attacks this knight. Mr. Beast gets scared, drops his knight back, and king jumps into g4. We now have pawn forwards, rook check, rook blocks, and Hikaru is just trying to defend. We do have mate in 10 now by Mr. Beast, which would be kind of crazy to see. Now it's mate in 8, so I don't think it was actually mate in 10, but it's mate in 6 now. He's got to promote that pawn. Still mate in 6, nothing gone wrong yet. Hikaru's just blocking the pawns, and he had a checkmate in 4 moves, but he didn't see it. He failed to see it. He defends this pawn because it was attacked. Now we have king drops back to attack it again. Rook to e7, attacking this rook. If you take it, he'll take and he'll promote and win the game. We have rook drops back, knight check, king takes the pawn. Big mistake by Mr. Beast. If he got both these pawns queens, he might have checkmated Hikaru. That's some foreshadowing. We have king g6 now, knight here, and rook d8. After rook to e6, king jumps to the side of the board, and he finally trades off the rook after he gets both the minor pieces. We go king into g6, check, check, and it's finally a fork that wins the rook. There's nothing Hikaru could do, and Mr. Beast finally can win the game if he was good. But Mr. Beast isn't a chess player, he's a YouTuber,